Long Shot is a short documentary I accidentally stumbled across on Netflix, and I tell you what, it's bloody great. I highly recommend it, especially if you like true crime and true case files and stuff like that. And this is an incredible story, and it's only about 40 minutes long, but it's so quick, it's so well paced, and for a documentary, it's almost like a thriller movie the way it's made. It's so well done. So it's about this guy called Juan Catalan, and he is accused of a murder because witnesses place him at the scene of a crime where a young girl who was a witness to previous crimes was murdered, and he has like no alibi or anything like that at the start, so it looks like he's going to jail and he could be facing the death penalty. This girl was underage, so it's like a child murder, and so he's screwed, this guy. And he has a little bit of a criminal past, and so it's not looking good for him at all. And he hires this lawyer who, lawyers get a bad rap a lot of the time. A lot of the time they're portrayed as ambulance chasers and just in it for the money and corrupt. A lot of times they'll defend people that they know are guilty. So sometimes there are bad lawyers, there are good lawyers. But in this case, this lawyer was a hell of a guy. He was a great lawyer, and he seemed to genuinely care about the plight of his client. Maybe it's the way the documentary was made. I know they can be very manipulative sometimes, especially to pull on the heartstrings and to put forward a certain perspective and make you, fall in line with it and get all in and invested. But just based on this documentary, this lawyer seemed genuine. And he tries to figure out what the guy was doing on the day of the murder, the night of the murder. And he realizes that his client was at a baseball game at Dodger Stadium in LA. And so he chases down that lead and he tries to source some of the video footage proving that his client was there to, give him this rock solid alibi. And the footage, he finds the man in the crowd on camera, but the footage isn't clear enough, so it's not going to be admissible in court. Until, what are the chances? It's like cosmically everything had to align. There's so many coincidences. It was like fate that this man would be proven innocent, because they just happened to be filming an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm the night that this man, Juan Catalan, was at the Dodgers game. And of all the entire crowd of like 20, 30, 40,000 people that were there, they happened to film right where Juan was. And Juan was right in the frame. And this documentary is great because they have the producers of Curb Your Enthusiasm there talking about how they had to assist in this murder investigation. Larry David himself appears in the show just to talk about the fact that he was caught up in this whole investigation as well. And in hindsight, how great it was that his show was able to exonerate this man. And so they find the footage. And then at first, you think that's it. Open and shut. The judge is going to just toss it out. But no. The time that he's on camera is like 9 o'clock at night, and the murder happens at 10:30. So there was still time for him to do it. So it's like all of that digging and investigating by his lawyer, the meticulous lengths he went to exonerate his client. It looked like it was all going to be for nothing, because time-wise, the alibi didn't exonerate him. But lo and behold, they then were able to ping his cell phone, because he got a phone call at like 10 past 10, which would have only given him 20 minutes to get to the scene of the crime, which was too much. Not enough time, sorry. And so the man was exonerated. The judge didn't even let it go to a jury trial based on this, evidence of his alibi, this material evidence, not just eyewitness, on camera, and the cell phone ping. These are hard facts. They were able to exonerate this man. And the judge throws it out, dismisses the case. The man is free to go. And it turns out the cops in the case were very reckless in the way they pursued this suspect, Juan, and pretty much were trying to coerce an admission of guilt out of him. And so they were reassigned to different cases for their negligence, and it was just a very heartwarming story. The poor guy, you really felt for him. He was an innocent man, and he was facing the death penalty. And I wasn't sure how much time he spent in prison. He was compensated like 300 grand for the time he spent in there, but you can never really get that time back. And plus, he was when I said he had a criminal past, it was like one incident with his older brother that had sort of lured him into a criminal endeavor, but he never wanted to be part of it, and then he never did anything else criminal after that. So you can't really call him, a career criminal or anything like that. He made a mistake when he was a teenager, and he changed his life, turned his life around, lived a clean life, was a family man, and he got caught up in this shit, which was, the leftovers of his brother's crimes. And he almost went to jail for it, an innocent man that was almost framed for the crime that someone else committed. And if it wasn't for the sheer chance that Curb Your Enthusiasm was being filmed that day, he would have gone to jail for the rest of his life, or been executed even. And it just goes to show you that, these things can happen. Our legal system is still, in the Western world, it's still the greatest legal system in the history of mankind and in all the world. It's the fairest, best system. And this is proof of it, I guess, because it's free enough that a lawyer can pursue evidence and end up exonerating his client. I mean, if this happened in a third world country, this guy would have had no, he wouldn't have even had a trial. It just would have been, a judge or a corrupt prosecutor or police would have just, fingered him for the crime, laid the blame on his shoulders and executed him. So at least we have, a decent, fair judicial process in the West. Mistakes do happen, but a lot of times they're rectified as well, as this documentary proves. And it's well shot. It's well done. I was going to say the acting. It seems so lifelike, because it was lifelike. It was a documentary. It was a real thing. And it was great to see, Larry David on there putting his 2 cents into it, even though he played a minor part, a passive role in this man's exoneration. But it was great to see, and there's a lot of heart and humanity to it. Seeing the man break down as his daughter was testifying in court trying to exonerate her father, saying that he took her to the ball game. And I swear the stars aligned. Maybe the Lord intervened to save this innocent man. Who knows? But either way, justice was done. The right outcome happened. And, I thank God for that this innocent man didn't go away for life, and he was able to reunite with his family. And it's a great little documentary. It's only 40 minutes long. It flies by. It felt like it was only 20 minutes long because it was so engrossing and thrilling and engaging. And I highly recommend it. And shout out to that lawyer. I can't remember his name, but he was a damn good lawyer. He went to great lengths to exonerate his client, which is the job he's supposed to do anyway, but he didn't half-ass it. He put the effort in, and he seemed to genuinely care about the plight of his client, which is nice to see when, lawyers get such a cynical, bad rap in society. There are some good ones out there, and this show highlighted one of the good ones. So I highly recommend it. Long Shot. Check it out. It's on Netflix at the moment in Australia. And, it's a high recommend from me. So, it's good to see, the due process of the judicial system work in the way it's supposed to. So, I'll leave it there. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Thanks for listening. Take care, be good, and I'll see you later.